In this video, we're going to see together how to create a product sheet using Wisewand's e-commerce mode. So for the product sheet, you already have several options. You can create one, several, or import a file. With a single one, you'll just need to enter either the topic you want to target or the URL of a competitor's site that covers the same topic. With multiple, you can do the same thing. It's just that on each line, you'll enter the topic, or rather the product you want to have written. And with a file, you can upload a CSV or Excel file in which you list absolutely all the products you want to create, written by Wisewand. I've already tested it here, so I made things easier for myself. I just took a website that talks about the product I want Wisewand to write about. I simply pasted the URL. It is also entirely possible that I could, for example, have actually decided to place Oka, one Clifton, a full 10 units wide in that space. Wisewand would then go on its own to search on Google. It would find that product and write based on that. Here, I could have limited the source as well, meaning it would have only taken information from that site. But in this case, I want to let Wisewand freely go on Google and look for additional information. For the title, I didn't even put one, so I don't need to keep it. I'm writing in French for France, but I could have written in another language. And for example, in French for Belgium, which would have been just slightly different. Because in our case, it doesn't make much of a difference. But for instance, if there are specificities depending on the country, it can be useful to clearly specify the country you want to target. My project, my persona, I leave all of that on automatic. Then the brief, I had it filled out automatically. I could have left it blank and Wisewand would have done all the work by itself when, as I said, it comes time to write and gather everything. Here, by doing the automatic filling beforehand, it allows me to know what Wisewand is going to write about. So here, in the case of Clifton 10 with a targeted query, it tells me absolutely everything. It gives me a bit of an overview of the main points it will cover. And here, if I want, it allows me to add additional data. There you go. I say whatever I want. And so this will be properly taken into account by Wisewand during the writing process. For example, you can add, since it is for an e-commerce site, if you need help, please contact our customer support at phone number 0 something. And you tell Wisewand, make sure to add this sentence with my phone number, and so it will include it in the text. That's an option. You also have information to avoid. For example, in the case of the Oka brand, you want to make sure that Wisewand doesn't make any comparisons with a pair of Nike shoes. So you will tell it, don't make any comparisons with Nike. Well, there you go. You can do that if you want. Personally, I left it completely free. I didn't even proofread and I just sent it. Next, for the outline, same thing. I use the autofill feature. This allows me, if I want to go and check what it's going to talk about, make changes if I want, maybe add an H2 and H3, move it around in the structure as I wish. But in my case, I decided to leave it completely free. I left everything on automatic. For my options, I asked to have an information table, a bullet list, enriched updates. I'll show you just after what that is, bolded words, an FAQ, and to import a YouTube video if it finds one that talks about this topic. To create an interactive widget for me, it can be anything at all. It's completely free to make whatever it wants for me. And schema.org then admits to choosing what might interest you for your product. I've already started the writing process so we can move faster in this video, and so it made this video for me. So here, just in case. 1-1-Clifton-10y-home, it generated a 1,700 word article for me, which explains a bit about what it is. It found a YouTube video for me and embedded it. It speaks to me. So product features, geometry, what it does. This is the famous interactive widget. So it tells me I can fill in some information. I weigh 80 kilos. I'm going to run on a marked trail. There you go. It's comfort and protection that I want. It changes and so on. These are little automated things. They allow for interaction on the pages. It can be interesting to see if what it does matches your needs. It gives me a little summary. And so, as you can see, at the end, I have a very comprehensive article, even with little notes from the expert, with measurements, things like that, pros and cons, and it finishes with the FAQ, just as I requested. And that's it for this part. At this point, we now have an exceptionally detailed and comprehensive landing page, along with a product page that can be published directly on our site and is expected to perform remarkably well for our audience.